Hello everyone and welcome back to Covetous Imp Gaming. Yesterday was D&D Direct and I'm going to cover a few of the things that they covered during their live stream. If you haven't done so already, please like this video, leave us a comment below about videos you'd like to see in the future, hit the subscribe button and the bell so you're alerted to our future content, and check us out on Facebook and Patreon. Those links are down below. So the first big surprise in D&D Direct was that One D&D did not get a shred of airtime. They didn't talk about how testing was going, how feedback was going, increasing frequency in testing phases, decreasing frequency in testing phases, nothing. We did have the usual Hasbro marketing of the movie, promoting the movie, figures for the movies, exclusive figures for the movies that you can only get through GameStop or the Hasbro Pulse store, that will hit the secondary market and probably skyrocket in price. A magic set featuring the characters from the D&D movie that will be released in a secret lair. And then finally, we got into what we really wanted, which was the more information about the books that are coming soon. So our next book that releases is going to be Bigby Presents The Glory of Giants. This is going to be a source book strictly for giants, like Fizban's was a source book for dragons. You're going to probably have a lot of lore about giants, a lot of the magic items that are giant related, stat blocks for a ton of new giants, and hopefully they will dig into that Goliath sub-races of like how Dragonborn say, I'm from a red dragon and I get fire breath. A Goliath can be from a fire giant and have these traits allocated at creation. So our next book is going to be Phandelver and Below, The Shattered Obelisk. And that is going to focus on the obelisks that have appeared throughout several of the 5e campaigns. I know there was one in Tomb of Annihilation, there was one in Out of the Abyss, and one in Icewind Dale. Apparently there's one in and around Phandelver, and the last time these obelisks were messed with in any way, it brought about the end of the world and kind of a reboot for D&D. So maybe that's their way of sliding into One D&D, is kind of giving the world a reboot. I guess we'll have to wait and see. So the next book after that is going to be Planescape, and they didn't go into too much detail about this, but I would imagine that it's going to be a lot like Eberron and the Magic source books that were released, where you get a little short adventure and a ton of background information about that universe. The final book for 2023 is a book that covers the Deck of Many Things. Now, while this deck does do wondrous things, I don't know that it can fill out an entire book, so I'm not entirely sure what this book will entail. But I'm looking forward to it, as it is one of my favorite items to hand out to people, because once you give it to somebody, usually chaos ensues. Looking ahead to 2024 and 2025, they did mention the return of Vecna, that we would see the Red Wizards of Thay once again, and that Venger and the League of Malevolence from the D&D cartoon back in the 80s would also be making an appearance. I have to say that I'm really excited to see Vecna again, seeing him in Season 1 of Critical Role, and seeing him in the one-shot that released around the time that the most recent season of Stranger Things released, is really exciting. It's nice to see him get some airtime again, and I'm really excited. And hopefully he gets, a book or an adventure where he gets to work his schemes through everything. The League of Malevolence was featured shortly in the Wild Beyond the Witchlight book, and it'll be good to see them return in a more anti-hero or really like a group's nemesis that can kind of like weave in and out as the adventure continues. It'll be good to see them kind of get that more of a role like that, like they had in the cartoon. The last bit of information that was put out was that Joe Manganiello is making a documentary about the journey that D&D has been on for the last 50 years. So once we have more information about that, we'll be sure to pass it on. That's going to wrap it up for us. Thanks for watching. We appreciate all the support, and we'll see you next time.